What's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 20th. It's July. It's 2025. And I have been severely off the grid for the last several days. So I set up the Starlink. See it? That's Skynet. That's the same technology I was using when I was in basic training at Fort Benning when I was a young lad, which was almost 40 years ago. It's just rebranded. It's the same thing. It's helium balloons floating through the sky carrying satellites. But on that, I'll digress because it'll probably get taken out by a drone or whatever. At any rate, I've got a lot going on and I've got a lot to talk about. I've talked to a lot of people and I started meeting people on my GoFundMe list. Remember that? Well, if you're on it, I didn't forget you. I'm actually doing it. I've already started. I'm in Montana currently and I'm heading to another undisclosed location, but I've got a ton of footage. I went to the Sage Wall in Montana, and that video's coming. That'll be on Jailbreak Overlander. So there, as they say, is that. I got a lot going on. I got a lot of drama. Stuff I usually don't have to deal with, but somebody really close to me, somebody very, very close to me, recently has completely stabbed me in the back really bad, and I'm not going to let it get me depressed, but it's just unbelievable to even think about. But I'm not going to get into it because it's personal, but it's the last person in the world I would ever expect to completely smile to your face and then whatever behind your back. But it happened, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do. At any rate, let's get into this, shall we? Man, I am a long way out in the woods. This is 2 grizzlies spotted in this area recently. I don't want to show this. That's a weird place for that tree, that sign to be. There ain't no fences. It's just weird. I don't know. What is that? Oh, shit. That is a big ass skull. Wow. I didn't even see that, man. That's big. Whatever this is, it's active. That's crazy. My truck is 4.7 miles away. I'm on SOS mode up here. Flies are brutal. But I'm not too far. I'm about 25 miles from the Sage Wall, which I'll be going to Monday after I meet a subscriber tomorrow and go to his compound up in the mountains in Montana, where I'm at right now. What's up, buddy? So I put that clip in there to give you an idea of what it is I've been doing. I left my house Friday morning, last Friday, so I've been on the road for about 9 days. And the amount of footage I have right now is absolutely insane. It's utterly insane. I'm uploading it as I can, but I'm trying to keep everything in order because I want to present what I'm showing right. Because if the Sage Wall is what I think it is, absolutely all of our history is a complete and utter lie. Not that most of it isn't, but all of it is. You know, the Sage Wall reminds me of the Egyptian artifacts that were found in the Grand Canyon, and then suddenly, off limits, no one's allowed there, it didn't exist, nothing to see here, folks, keep it moving. But with that in mind, today is the big anniversary of the moon landing, and I want to celebrate it with you. So here we go.
As Aldrin commemorates Apollo 11 moon landing milestone on 55th anniversary with heartfelt message. Legendary astronaut Edwin Eugene Buzz Aldrin Jr. shared a heartfelt message on the 55th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission, recalling the historic moment when the lunar module Eagle landed at Tranquility Base. The 95-year-old, who in 1969 walked on the moon behind mission commander Neil Armstrong, reminisced about the iconic moment they shared while Michael Collins orbited above in the command module. July 20th, 1969. Contact light, engine stop. The Apollo 11 lunar module Eagle touched down at Tranquility Base on the moon. A few hours later, Neil Armstrong and I stepped foot on the moon, with Michael Collins orbiting close by. Aldrin wrote in a post on X. Aldrin emphasized that this monumental achievement stemmed from years of relentless effort, unwavering dedication, and the teamwork of hundreds of thousands. An achievement resulting from years of incalculable effort, commitment, and teamwork. Aldrin invoked President John F. Kennedy's powerful challenge to reach the moon and see Kennedy's words become reality. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Okay, I can't listen to any more of that. Take a look at these pictures right here. Let me ask you something. The space capsule, where was this lunar module that landed? Where was that located in the capsule with 2 people already in it? I'm just curious. And then, how about this? How come shadows are going this way, shadows are going that way, and then shadows are going this way? Do you understand? It's not real. It didn't happen. It never happened. You can't go to the moon because the moon is made out of a plasma. You cannot land on it, period, whatsoever, at all. But, hey, in case you forgot, let me explain it to you like you're a little kid. Or actually, let Buzz explain it to you to a little kid. How about that? I don't know what I just did. Son of a... Whatever. Here we go.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. But I think I know. Because we didn't.
Conspiracy theorists. They've been crazy, but now they're right.
It's funny that people still believe this stuff. When we saw the Indian moon landing that looked exactly like a poorly done video game from when video games first came out and they were at pizza shops. Remember Galaga? Yeah. Recently, a couple of people have been hitting on the biblical cosmology, the shape of the earth, whether it's round like NASA tells us or it's not, like the Bible tells us in your eyes, your senses tell you, like cameras tell you, like telescopes tell you. I've been doing this for a long time, and when I first started out, I wasn't a NASA fanboy, but I was down with it, you know? I was always into the stars since I was 9 years old, almost 50 years. And the better my optics, the more I started understanding that I was looking at things that were inside water. And the more I started looking at that, I discovered that NASA's a complete, utter lie. The moon is made of plasma, and Kennedy, NASA, everyone knew the moon was made of plasma because it came right out. Actual scientists, not NASA scientists, real scientists, discovered what the shape of the earth was. So they had to hurriedly fake a moon landing. And they did. I've been to the Boston Museum of Science a million times, and they have a exact replica of the NASA moon landing capsule there. And I'll tell you what, my iPhone's built better than that. This plastic container is built better than that. This water bottle's built better than that, because they didn't go anyplace. They just made this paper mache thing out of aluminum foil and whatever else they had laying around, and they foisted this on people. And the reason I'm worried about what the real shape of the Earth is, because it does a lot of things. I've said this before and I'll say it again. 60% of the things they're going to pull on us involve things coming from outer space. You've got to understand that. You've got to understand that. When you realize what's really going on, and we can only go up so far, and satellites aren't encompassing the entire Earth, etc., and they're not going to Mars, which is just laughable and ludicrous, man. It's an absolute joke, but they keep pushing that joke because they're always doing things like this. You see what I'm saying? Back in 2024, Will Duffy, a YouTuber named Jeranism, and a bunch of other pals got together to go to the Antarctica and completely prove the Earth was flat. Even though these guys were flat earthers, they wanted to prove or disprove it. Now, I've never trusted Jeranism ever, and I still don't. I believe that these guys were sent to Antarctica, which is probably simply only AI. Because when this video came out, nobody was talking about AI. But after this video came out, AI was everywhere. None of this is real right here. There's many videos, King Nico, many channels have covered this and shown that this is a complete and utter hoax. Why would they pretend to go to the moon? I mean, pretend to go to Antarctica all of a sudden and prove the Earth was a globe and NASA wasn't lying? Because they had to. Because you can't pull an alien invasion, or you can't have magic rocks or meteors falling from outer space if there is no outer space, which there isn't. There's the waters above and the waters below. You know what I'm saying? This entire video, the final experiment, was torn apart by all sorts of researchers that actually have degrees in editing and things of that nature. This dude standing there with what looks like a perfectly blue sky behind him, and he's standing on frozen tundra, but his breath isn't producing any condensation at all until somebody points that out in the live stream, and then he bends over and literally hits his vape and gets caught by a third camera doing it. But these guys will go to any extent, and understand this. A lot of people followed Jeranism till he completely flipped the switch, but I never trusted him. Trust your gut instincts. There are absolutely people that have been on the internet since day one, steering and guiding people, giving them enough truth to keep them coming back, but pointing them in the wrong direction nonetheless. What he's doing right now could easily be done by AI, easily, or what he's doing right now could be done in one of Amazon's new machines where you don't need a green screen anymore. Hollywood uses it all the time. So there, as they say, is that. And plus, you can't land on the moon because it is and always will be a plasma, just like this guy said.
Now, one thing, you have a theory about the moon, and we expect to be able to get observable facts about the moon fairly soon. What is your theory?
Well, it is by now rather more than a theory. 10 or 11 years ago, I stated to various scientists that the moon is not a piece of rock, but it is a plasma phenomenon, a cosmic plasma, and that this fact will eventually be confirmed. I made certain predictions which were already confirmed in 1958, and the situation now is coming close to a complete confirmation.
What will be the result if you're proved to be correct in your theories?
The result will be profound and decisive, because it will give proof that a complete reinvestigation of the laws of nature is necessary. Because if the moon is a plasma, no man will ever land on it. The soft landing attempts will all fail. That means that the mass of the moon is less, far less, than is currently assumed. It's in a different state of energy, and it has far less mass. That means there is no more explanation for the tides. If the moon, for example, had only 1,000th part of its current mass, then the tides would only be 2 inches high under conventional theories instead of sometimes 14 feet. And that means that if it is proved that the moon is a plasma, then all gravitational theories are out, and a new concept of the cosmos and of its laws has to be evolved.
Aren't you being a bit adventurous, though, because you know that we're going to be able to test out your theories on the moon fairly soon?
Well, not anymore. 11 years ago, of course, it was rather taking a risk. I was considered a lunatic, of course, but by now the evidence, accumulated evidence, is already so much in my favor that I'm not taking any risks anymore. On the contrary, there is scientific views expressed all over the world now that the moon seems to be of a quite different nature of what was assumed.
But the Americans and Russians are thinking of landing men on it.
Well, that will never happen. Not on the moon.
So that's pretty much it, because again, I'm running off a Starlink right now. Are you kidding me? Why is there a square standby? A square of my face. That was annoying. I've been filming the moon so many times, and I've filmed it coming over the horizon, coming right up over the Atlantic Ocean. Every single time when it gets to about 10 o'clock in the sky, it goes from an orange mass that is literally moving around, and so on the dark continents on it, or whatever they're called. I've got it coming through the Sierra Nevadas. I've got it pretty much everywhere, and I've got it going down into the Pacific. The Book of Enoch explains what the moon is and where it comes from and where it goes. Do you guys remember the live stream where people were literally sending me in footage with timestamps on it from other countries and other places where they were looking at the same moon on the other side of the world that I was in Massachusetts? Yeah, that was a thing. At any rate, I'm not going to talk about Trump. I'm not going to talk about Epstein, because everybody is finally figuring out what I told you the first time around. He's never going to release the documents. Trump is an absolute Zionist billionaire, and he's on the list. Do you see what I'm saying? They're never going to release it. But look what the president is doing. I mean, are you kidding me? There is no list. One day later, the list was created by Obama. One day later, well, there is no list, and anybody that listens to it is a bad person or fake news. We're literally living in idiocracy, because the entire time we've been living in a movie. We're just at idiocracy right now, literally, because their president was a wrestler. Trump, he's been in the wrestling ring, and he's telling everyone he's going to hold a UFC fight with 20,000 fans on the grounds of the White House. That's impossible. It's impossible, but that is idiocracy. Bread and circus. He's done nothing he said he would do, right down to the Epstein list. And you guys have been listening. I'm not even going to... Who cares? That's all fodder. Puff Daddy, Epstein, it's all to keep you busy from Agenda 2030 and the massive amounts of weather manipulation that they're doing. So, with that being said, Richie from Boston, the creek don't rise and the good Lord's willing. I'll get you another one this week or tomorrow. At any rate, I'm out.